or comments you'd like to make?
I'd like to ask Dr. Goodman, what about the drug user as opposed to the drug addict? Does medicine also views him as having a disease, even if it's controlled use? And if I wanted a drug for, let's say, to go to sleep or for an all-night drive or something like that, why should I need a prescription? If I know what I need and what I want, why can't I just go to the pharmacist and, like I could in the old days before Harrison?
And buy whatever you like.
Yeah,
well,
whatever.
I certainly don't.
Assuming I'm an adult and
I can't speak for medicine. I can only say this, that I don't think someone who is a casual user of a drug is ill. I don't think so. I doubt if most people think so, any more than people who have a drink or smoke are necessarily ill. So that's part of your question. The other question is, which drugs should all drugs be available without a prescription? Is that your question?
yeah.
I mean, I really don't know the answer to that question. I think it has to be worked out. All the nitty-gritty has to be worked out. I mean, I don't think a blanket, as Arnold said, I would be afraid. And of course, I have a jaundiced view of it. I don't see the people who are happily taking these drugs. I see the people who are unhappily taking it, And also, it's hard when you're dealing with individuals, each of whom's health and life are precious, to think in a generic way, well, what the hell, if we lose 30 and the other 100 are happy, it's all right. I can't think that way. So I'm afraid, for me, it looks like a kind of a painstaking review of each drug and whether it should be released or not. Let me just mention to you the fact that you and I don't know what drugs are being made right now. I know you know that the pharmacologists can, with computers now, make all kinds of things. And you must know that alpha-methylfentanyl killed 100 people or so in California. They made a little adjustment in the fentanyl. Fentanyl's strong enough as it is. And I don't know what they can do. And whether every drug that anybody wants to take should be available at the druggist, I really don't know. I think we're going to have to answer it maybe piece by piece. I don't know.
In answer to may I say something about what you said? I think one of the great problems that confronts America right now is that one of the problems that seems to me to confront America at the moment is there's always somebody else who knows some more about something than you do. So you can't make up your mind about anything. And what has happened, it seems to me, is that people now believe the thing can be wrong and right at the same time. Well, once you begin to admit that to yourself, you've lost all ability to do mathematics. And that's a pretty shameful thing for our educational system. I'd just like to give you an answer to what you said. One poem I wrote a while back, and that's this. From morning to night, all we do every day, all we dream, what we scheme, how we act, is conditioned to find in the depths of our minds the empty spaces between the facts. The distance between the already seen and what happens when it interacts. It's all right if you have what it takes to sign on your face for an instant of speed because we see the moment you know you're awake. In fact, the truth will unfold, leaving nothing untold, if you act as if it is true that they've left it to you to fill in the empty spaces between the facts. Thank you.
I have two questions for Dr. Goodman. The first deals with medical ethics. If a state legislature were to pass some sort of legislation saying that any medical practitioner who wishes may prescribe marijuana for a duly diagnosed condition, and that's authorized legally. Would there be any peer disciplinary standards that a practitioner would be subject to for writing such prescription?
I don't really decide that. You know, I think that Professor Friedman mentioned that we're already socializing medicine, meaning that the government is playing a huge role. Medicaid, Medicare, the VA, the Army pay for a lot of the care. They don't do this without checking on everything we do, without disciplining us. Medicare can give me points for spending too much of their money, just for that. You get enough points, you're not capable of taking care of a Medicare patient. So I really can't answer. We are not autonomous. We are under the gun as much as anyone today.
Well, with some medical association you're affiliated
I'm
with.
sure that there would be, well, the medical association is just individuals. Now, I was the chairman of the drug committee last year. I'm not this year. The new chairman will bring a different spirit to it, and he must report back to a quality assurance board, and the governor appoints that board, and that board can take your license. And if they don't like his report, in other words, there's no single answer to that question. Some of us will take the risk, but that's the trouble. The trouble is that there is a standard by which is applied willy-nilly. In other words, there is no standard, especially in these matters. That's one reason that I thought if we started by having the experts come down and talk to us, we've got to trust someone. So we had the people from NIDA, the people who do the detoxification at Francis Becky Hopkins come and talk to us and tell us some standard which we can apply. But I really can't answer that question.
The other question is, how do people like you get to give presentations at schools? I'm from Kansas City. The only people who get to give presentations there are the police and folks like that. How do you get access to public schools?
It wasn't easy. The American Bar Association and the AMA got together, and they had enough influence and enough, nationwide membership, and they were able to put together the information, the educational information for us. Then each individual county had to get a doctor who was willing to take the lead. We had to go to the Department of Education. The Department of Education told us that we needed 8 hours of training in classroom teaching in order to talk to the kids. We had a heck of a time getting the doctors and lawyers to do that. It took us months to get it together. And we're up against the same thing now. We have a smoking program, and we're going to go through the same thing. It's not easy. It took a lot of resources, but the AMA and the ABA have the resources.
In the say smoking program, what do you mean?
A program to tell the truth about smoking to the kids. That's what the program is about. Some people think.
What is the truth about smoking?
Well, the program that I'm talking about right now was put together by a physician in Montgomery County. It merely shows the ravages of smoking.
So in other words, you're against smoking. And you're for a right to suppress that as a right on the part of the government.
No, we're not. You're talking about something else now. I'm talking about telling the kids the truth and let them make up their own mind. I'm talking about the truth. We don't want to operate without the truth.
What is the truth?
The truth, well, we have photographs to illustrate the truth. Look, let me tell you something. I wish smoking were not bad for you. But I have been practicing 30 years, and at the time that the Surgeon General gave his report in 1958, I was studying for my boards in internal medicine, smoking away. And unhappily, I had to look at all the pictures until the scientific evidence overwhelmed even me.
Do you say smoking marijuana has this?